friends, this is Ouassima and welcome to this video. Today I want to share with you new decks I am having on my shop, new old decks. It's like I want to show you a lot of things, but I will just bring them to two. I think I will be sharing with you these two together, and after that another video, the Illuminated Earth Oracle. And all these decks are linked to my latest video about shamanism and tarot and the way to bring them all together. And to start this talk, I want to let's use this here. Okay. What I like about shamanism, as I said in my latest video, is that we get a direct revelation. And also, for most, not all of them, some practitioners in shamanism will see scenes, will see pictures, maybe they will hear sounds, but all of these are related a lot to perception, how we perceive. It's not really related to the thought or to the thinking part of us, to the mind. It's more related to the receptivity. And one of the things that I like about myths, mythology and stories is that they act the same way. We are opening our senses and receiving a mythology or a story with our senses. And after that, we process them with our mind, with our thinking. But when we hear story, we are more receptive to the underlying messages. And why? I like to think about these stories as the little particles. There are some plants, when you take them as tinctures, for example, they go through the brain. Mythology and stories act the same way. They get through our limitation of or conditioning to our inner brain or our inner being, so we can hear the message and we can understand it and we can integrate it, and we are more receptive. Another way to depict this is that stories will call for our imagination, for our senses. And when we call our imagination and senses, we are activating different parts of our mind that are not really related to the mind that thinks, that plans, that analyzes. It is more related to the imaginary, and maybe in some theories we talk about the left brain and the right brain. The right brain is related to the imagination and the left brain is more related to planning and all these things. So these stories get through this conditioning and act on us, act on our subconscious, sometimes we call it. And we get the essence of the story, and we can maybe do something about it. I like also to think about these particles or these stories that get through us. They activate our imagination, certain parts of the brain, but also I feel they have an action on our DNA. So it has an effect on our DNA, and they can bring so much healing, so much push us forward to make a change. So enough with my theories and explanations, and let's explore these decks I'm talking about. I will put the Illuminated Earth Oracle for maybe another video, and I will present you these two decks by my friend Diana. She have written poems and songs that are related to Mama Shamana, and I love her songs. They have been written in Russian and have been translated in French. So these books or these little poems and songs are illustrated too, so you will find a lot of depiction about the stories related to the stories, and I hope one day they can be translated in English because they're really beautiful and poetic. And sometimes they trigger you because sometimes you do not really understand from the first time. So you need to reread maybe 2 times, 3 times to understand, oh yes, this is what really happened. But they take you into a journey, and maybe journeys that you have heard before, deep inside. It's like there is that feeling of being related to these stories in a way or another, even if they come from a far place on the world. I feel they are international. They are related to how our history as a human. So they are really beautiful. And so this is the songs of Mama Shamana. And this one is Mama Shamana talks the language of the earth. This is another one too. And these books are illustrated. So Yana, the author and creator, took this illustration and made them into 2 oracle decks. And we are so fortunate to have this illustration in the oracle deck because they are really, really lovely. They are poetic. They play with that imagination, I'm talking about. Very beautiful. So you find these illustrations in these 2 oracle decks. And the first one, I believe, was the mirror of Mama Shamana. And you find 2 guides, or 2 little guides in French and in English, where she explains her vision about this deck. So let me see what she says about the yarn of Mama Shamana. The language of the metaphorical cards is as ancient as the earth herself. Through the language of images, the artist reaches out to the higher knowing and receive a response from her. This is the language of the human soul. Created with the language of images, a fairy tale brings remedy. It heals and re-energizes. The tales of a woman who is intuitive, wise, and sensual have laid a foundation for the deck mirror of Mama Shamana. The cards are well suited to diagnose, identify, and course correct. It also helps the reader to understand and address different emotional states concerning women, particularly a wide range challenges, including identity crisis, psychosomatic symptoms, and traumas. This deck will help you discover your inner resourcefulness and awaken your dormant talents. And this is the same, but in French. And in the deck, you will find 2 parts. So in the first part, look at the back of the cards. I love it. Really colorful. All right, so now we are having these 2 parts that come in the deck. And the back is really beautiful. And inside, you will have all the illustrations. I won't show you everything because I don't know for you, but I like to keep that element of surprise when I receive a deck or when I buy a deck. So yes, I will show you some cards, but I don't think I will show you all of them. And you might discover them when you get them. So you find many illustrations, as I said, from the poems she created. And I believe they are watercolor, based on watercolor. This is a beautiful one. They are so beautiful, especially for storytelling, maybe for poetic or story building, like, when we say or when we tell our own story as a therapy modality. let's stop it there. And here you will find some verses or some parts of the poems she had created, or the songs. All right, so let's try and make a quick spread art. Okay. All right, so the first card I see here, I see that a woman is like, I feel like this woman is growing up from a trunk or getting out of something. I feel a birth. She just she was just birthed or born. And I see the fox here that is related to magic in Japan or to shapeshifting. Of course, these interpretations are not really related to the poems, but I'm doing it just intuitively. So this woman is either shifting or building or birthing, and I feel that there is a potential in this card. There is, I am ready. I feel that something is ready to be done. Something is ready to start. I will be playing. It's like blossoming. I feel blossoming in this card. I feel that it is filled with hope. This card in here, I see a woman, and she has, I don't know why I see a symbol like an eye in her hand, and she is picking some flowers or some herbs. There is something here related to maybe working with plants. I have been thinking a lot about this, about evolving my practice with plants, and how I can, how can add this to my practice more. So I feel that there is something here, like maybe this woman is awakening to the inner knowledge. And when I see this, it's like I feel that this is Mama Shamana, or this is the shaman, and she's starting using these plants, or collecting plants, and there is knowledge, inner knowledge, that is awakening regarding this practice. And when I see this card, this is really beautiful. I mean, we cannot make this up, right? And I see a cup here with a tea or something that is offered. So it's definitely talking for me about this practice of shamanism with herbs and with plants, and how I can evolve with it and offer it to the others, offer it to people so they can benefit from it. There is something else also coming from here, is that I feel the inspiration, because we are talking about shamanism here. I'm not feeling that it needs to be really mechanical or technical. I feel that it needs to follow the inspiration or the guidance I receive, because this is the true offering. To be honest, in herbalism or working with herbs, I do not want to reproduce the same thing. Yes, we know what the herbs are for, but they are so much larger. They're so much richer than what we put them in, like the boxes we put them in. We need to encounter the plants, to learn from them directly, direct revelation. So this is one of the ways I cherish really through my practice of shamanism, like meeting with plants, learning from them, knowing what they can do for me and how we can collaborate together, in which situation, how can I take them, is it internally, so there is something here birthing in me that can be ancestral. This is how the ancestors worked with plants. They didn't have manuals. They had to practice with the plant and learn from her. So yeah, offering that knowledge to people. So if I want to add sentence or maybe just one phrase that can go. This is interesting. A beast will knock on every door there is. And this is talking, for me, the first thing I received through that is the doubt that can come and knock on my door to see if I will keep up with this intention or with this desire. And I have that, I want to pick another card. Let's, I was starting with 2 cards and now I'm ending with 4. All right, so the beast will knock on every door. Fear. How can I deal with the fear and the doubt that can come from this? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is really beautiful. Look at this card. This card, what I see many spirit guides. Is this a raven? This is really interesting because the raven is one of my spirit allies too. And I feel that it is a spirit ally for us at this moment. We have been talking about raven these last months, and I feel that they are really they are awakening us to something. They are helping us to shift from a dimension to another. And it is we know that this year it is 2019, next year 2020, new year, numerologically the 4, we are getting to the stability of all what we have been living, like all the shift, that change that was happened to change our way of living. We will be getting more stable, I hope to, in the next year. And the raven have been with us through this time. Having the fox and seeing the wolf, seeing the raven, seeing here the spirit of a dead animal, seeing the dance, trance. There is something here talking about trance, working with spirits while I am doing this herb study or this herb learning, not doing something separately. This really confirms for me, because when we connect to spirits, we are full of power. We are full of power that is way, way, way bigger than the human power. There is the soul power that comes through that too. There is this, I need to accept to die. I'm talking about it and my throat is really something there. Accepting to die to the old me that was doubting about her way of doing and all the channelings I have been receiving. So there is something related to connect to your spirit allies and do things with them. Face this fear and let it go. This is really beautiful. I wasn't waiting for it to be a strong reading for me like this and straight reading. All right, so let's see the other deck. So this one was the Yarn of Mama Shamana. They are so beautiful. I love them. I love them. All right, so Mirror of Mama Shamana. Let's see. All right, so we find 2 sheets like this that can explain how we use the cards, the methods, the questions we can ask, and the very, very interesting ideas that I feel that are different from what we used to see in the different decks. So they are really interesting to explore. So this one, Yana explains it like this. A fairy tale is hidden in every card of this deck. Within each card, you will find a tale about the world transformed by Mother's kiss, a beast that turned out to be scary, the beautiful gardens that bloom inside some amazing human beings. Some of these beautiful tales can be found in the Song of Mama Shamana book. However, most of them are waiting to be reimagined by you. Working with the Yarn of Mama Shamana's deck is a pure bliss. They are amazing. As you look at the image, you will enter the world of your subconscious mind, the most intricate depth of your being that are otherwise hidden from you in daily life. The cards will help you get to the core of what really is going in your life, to hear your own deeper wisdom. Remember, the truth is in the eyes of the beholder. That means that only one who holds the card sees the significance of it. Love that. All right, so it is the same format. So we are having here the same format here. We have the cards and we have the words sticking. One is sticking inside. Okay. So I will do the same. I won't show you everything. I will show you just some cards. And the style, the spirit is really different from the other deck, but I'm sure that if we put them together, we can do something interesting. The other was more watery, and this one I feel it more earthy. Oh, this is beautiful. Wow. Look at this little girl hiding here. And this one too. Oh. This reminds me of some journeys, shamanic journeys we do. We get on our animal ally and we go to journey. Oh, wow. And this reminds me of the Wheel of Fortune. It's like we are looking at the time passing, or maybe we are waiting for something. All right, so let's see with these cards here. What is the message that this deck wants to tell us? Do we need to do the 2 cards or the 3 cards? Let's see. Okay. Oh. This looks like the wheel we have seen. Oh, wow. Really interesting here. Okay, so the first thing I got in the message, in this as a message on this card, is looking at this wheel, or there is that desire that came. There is that dreamy state, a desire, maybe a dream we have. And the other thing is that we see that there is a small woman here, and when I see her hair, it reminds me of this woman here. So she's having maybe a white hair, as a wise woman. And if I see the cards, I might need to start from here and go to this, because this dreamy state, I feel that it is mixed of hope but also nostalgia, like looking at the past, and after we have lived all this life, we are sharing memories together. We are seeing the time we have lived in the past. So if I see the past, this woman was young and hiding her face. Maybe she wanted to hide from people, from all these lights in here. Maybe she wanted to find herself, to get back into her inner world. Another interpretation can be maybe she's hiding herself because maybe she's not sure of who she is and what she wants to show the others. This card here with the cup, with the bear here, the butterflies and the insects, and there is a bath. Maybe this cup is a bath and the bear is taking a bath there, and there is transformation. So this woman had lived a big transformation, or maybe many transformations, these trees all together, and her life. And she encountered many different beings that brought something into her life. Maybe it was something bad, maybe it was something good. And this transformation made her grow. She have lived, or she had seen the different colors of life, but she also gained wisdom, and she gained that tranquility, or that state of peace with what she was and what she have lived in her life. If I see, for example, with these cards, with these quotes, what we get. Let's see here. Okay, I'm getting two here. All right, so the first is, they bring the winds to fill your sail off to the greatest journey. So she have been living a great journey, and maybe she had came to the time that she needs to recognize that, and maybe she needs to thank herself and thank the world for what she have lived. And another one, if you are January, you will always be served first. This is lovely. For me, it feels like, if you have faith in yourself, if you are open to life, if you if you open yourself to life, and you have confidence in yourself, and you at the same time you surrender to the adventures of life, you will be served as you think. So it is really related to our thoughts. This is why I feel from this spread, our thought system, our condition, help us to have an easy life or a difficult life. It's not really the situations we live, it is our way of perceiving these situations and perceiving these experiences that make things hard or easy. And when we see them easy, maybe we will get things by the law of attraction. We can get things that will be easy for us, and we will be more surrendering to our true nature, and at the same time to the big plan of the life. So quick reading, but I find it really interesting here to how these little cards add a more, I feel like, more concrete message, so we can go further. I hope you like these decks. I am not familiar with doing reviews or all these things. I prefer sharing my own vision of the cards and how I use them. And yeah, I hope you liked it. So trying to put them inside. There we go. All right, so I will see you soon for another video, and have a wonderful day.